welcome to the Firelock podcast. And today joining me is Hippy Hobo, Randomnutz, Soul, Vokun, and then I'm Simple.
Yeah, what up, dude?
Simply put, we'll be talking about all the things that come to our minds.
Simply put, you can no longer provide for them.
That is a big brain reference that the audience will not get, unfortunately.
Unless they are cultured.
If they watch Explosion, they will.
Yeah, who the fuck's that?
Who is Explosion?
On this podcast, we'll be going over ideas, ideals, morals, and our past experiences.
And how to take down Christian values.
And how to take down an orphanage.
And hopefully how not to speak over each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this will be kind of a learning experience. It's about as hard as Rainbow Six.
I hate Rainbow Six.
Shut the hell up, Aiden.
No!
So, I'm gonna ask y'all, since Simple here hasn't asked yet, how did all y'all's days go? I know how me and Connor's went, but how about the rest of y'all?
They ripped their fingernails out in a fit of rage.
I played Hunt Showdown for 9 hours with Random and Vokun. And that game is like heroin, but if you win, you experience the greatest high that a human can possibly feel, and if you lose, you immediately think of the quickest way to cause yourself the most pain possible. And you have to...
Dark Souls.
No, it's worse.
Pontus Sullivan?
It's like Rust, but amplified.
Crust?
Yeah.
Yeah, that game
it's like Rust, but you don't get the chance of it.
Look at all these crusty naked people on this beach.
It's a lot.
Their skulls in with a rock.
It's a lot like Rust, except you don't get a bag to respawn. Which is the worst, because you never get the chance to get your shit back.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot like Rust, but they still managed to cram the month of toxicity into like 40 minutes.
Yeah, it do be that way. Like every match is like a coin toss. You'll either have the greatest match of your life, or you will want to pull out your teeth and not using your hands.
You will want to collect teeth and eat them like popcorn.
You would literally grab put your face to the curb and just bite into it as hard as you can without hesitation.
Literally moments ago, me, Simple, and Random were fucking storming a compound, and we literally killed everyone there and extracted. Greatest feeling.
Yeah, the only compound I know about is in Nicaragua.
Storming.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on.
Hippy Hobo, tell them about that one time that you were in Nicaragua.
Well, there's a lot of experiences there.
Best experience, or most Nicaraguan experience that you had there.
That was literally all of them. I think one that comes to mind was... Okay, I think I'm going to talk about the one where I basically climbed a mountain just because I wanted to get ahead of the group that I was with. So to give context, that I only assumed I was in Nicaragua because at the time I was going to a church that my family was going to, and they had a mission trip there. And I never believed in I haven't believed in God.
Hold on, wait.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Yeah, that's basically the noise I made before I fell asleep on the airplane on the way there. But essentially, when we got there, one of the things we did was go on this mountain right to the top, right, so we can see all of the capital, which is Managua. And me and my two buddies were like, hey, we found this dirt path, right next to these concrete stairs, right? Because the concrete stairs are the main way up. But we wanted to get up there faster, and we did. We started climbing it, all right, because it was super steep, and I was the last one. Right, there's three of us, and the person in front of me decided to put his foot on the exact spot where I was going to put my hand to hold on to. And so in a like fit of panic, you just see me fisted dirt. All right, and I'm just hanging in there with my wrist inside the side of a mountain, trying not to die and fall off like at least 360 feet. And, and then like we get there, okay, and we finally climbed all the way up, and we were only like 15 minutes like faster than everyone else who just took the normal route. So I almost died just for 15 minutes of for a 15-minute shortcut.
Dude, I don't think me and Chris have necessarily ever experienced anything that crazy.
I have never experienced anything near death or
I have.
endangered.
I've been almost fatally hit by a car on more than 5 occasions.
It's because you're
Dude,
tall.
remember that one kid at middle school who like was trying to do parkour and nearly got hit, or he did get hit by a car?
Wait, yes.
I'm not gonna say any names because like.
No, what else happened though? I forgot. Like, how did it come to happen?
Okay, so like he saw like I think me and you were like doing parkour like outside the front. I think we were practicing like for the audience sake, we're just gonna say wall jumps. All right. Essentially, there was this tree, okay, that we practiced on, and this other dude was like, "Hey, I'm gonna try to do that. That looks badass." Okay. So he goes up there to that tree, like running, almost doing it properly, except for the part where he like kicks off because he just pushes back off the tree. He doesn't actually like kick off of it. And so he's like in the middle of like almost a parking lot area where he would get picked up from this like school we were at. And this car just goes up to him and just like hits him rather like, lightly because the car's only going like, it's slowing down to at least like 5 miles per hour, maybe less. But this dude just like falls over. He gets up. He's like, "I'm okay."
So speaking of wall jumps and people getting hurt, there was this one time where me, Vokun, and Random, who are brothers, they're twin brothers, we were waiting at that same school after school, and we would often like go there to train parkour because that was one of the things that united us as a friend group in the early days, and we really enjoyed doing it, and we still do. So there was this like group of delinquents. One of them, mind you, who brought a gun to school like a year later to the same school and got arrested and sent to juvie.
Oh my god.
That specific one, the dangerous one, we were just chilling, and then he and like a group of like 3 bogans come up and pick up like a rock, and we're chilling against this brick wall, and he like throws the rock like at a really fast speed right at the wall against us, and we're like, "Hey, that's not cool." And they start antagonizing us and shit, and more than they already are. And Christian Vokun, sorry.
Oh.
Exposed. Vokun just walks up to him, dude, and he just like looks at him, and he just like runs up and jumps off of his stomach.
Oh my god.
He just jumps into the air and then kicks off of his stomach.
Oh my god.
He does a full 360, dude, and just continues looking at the dude, and the dude just like sits there, and then their mom comes and picks them up and scolds Vokun, and yeah, it was a pretty.
That was a day.
It was.
Oh man.
It was
Oh
an
my God.
interesting turn of events.
That specific location in that school has so many great. Like,
It really, oh my god, it does. I was just sitting there and I was like, dude, did he actually just do that? He literally just tacked off of this dude's like pelvis.
dude. One of my favorite moments is actually with Aiden. All right, this is one I wasn't actually there for.
What is this?
Aiden being Soul.
Yeah, I should mention that, but yeah. So Soldier Boy over here.
Call me Soldier
Fucking-
Boy.
This kid went up to him. Because we were in 6th grade at this time. This 8th grader walked up to Aiden with a rock in his hand.
Oh my god, let me tell the story, because I was the one that was
Alright.
there. So, very, very similar scenario. Exact same spot at the school, right? same school, same middle school. So whatever image you've got in your head of what this school looks like, it's basically like a courtyard. So just picture that of a middle school. We're like 12, maybe 13. Soul, he lived nearby, and after 6th grade, he started being homeschooled. And so after school, I would just hang out there, and he would come and walk back to the school to hang out with me. And there was this group of.
Wait, hold on. Was
Okay.
this after 6th grade?
This was after 6th grade. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
This was like 7th or 8th. So this other group of bogans, similarly attired, similarly statured, this group of despicable ruffians approaches. One of them being the size of an actual building. And I don't remember the other two. They were 8th graders. Eighth graders to like a 7th grader looks like, I mean, like they look like they're 40. Excuse the lightning.
I'll be right back. I'll be like 2 seconds.
Alright.
So anyway, I'm getting off track. So the ruffians come up. They start harassing me and Soul. The time that this happened with Vokun and when he did the tic tac off the dude, it was a lot like less confrontational. They were just kind of being obnoxious in the general area. This time, me and Soul were like pinned up against a brick wall, and these 4 massive dudes were just standing around us. And then one of them is holding a rock, like a rock, dude. Like not like a pebble. He's holding a rock that his fist is like not able to fully grasp because it's that big. And he's holding it and like standing over Soul like he's gonna attack him and try to bludgeon him to death. And Soul just looks up at him with his fucking afro, and he's like, "Can I have that, please?" And the dude says, "No." And then Aiden slaps the shit out of him. He slaps his fucking lights out, dude, and just sprints immediately. And me and everyone else there is so like stricken with awe, we don't even know what to do. And Aiden just sprints, and this dude is chasing behind him, and he finally just gives up and stops walking, or stops running. And the strangest thing happens. This all happened in like less than 10 seconds, mind you. So he slaps the dude. Aiden's running. The dude is chasing him. The dude behind him just stops, and Aiden stops. And the dude is just like, "What did he say, Aiden?"
I can't remember.
He's just like, "Mad respect," or something, and like pats him on the
I
back.
don't even remember.
He said something about like respecting or honoring you for doing that, and I'm like, "What the fuck? Why?" And then
Hey, listen, Connor, you just gotta understand the hood. Okay?
no, hold on. So after he gets decked, the guys leave. They don't threaten him with the rock anymore. I'm pretty sure I recall Aiden getting the rock, so we won essentially. My dad comes to pick me up shortly after that. I get into his truck, and Aiden is on his way home, like in the direction that I went to go get in the truck. I look over out the window. Soul is just holding up. He's holding up and furiously pointing at a condom that he found on campus, on a middle school campus, and it's like a Magnum too. He's just like my dad is
just outside, and there's just like dirt in it. And I was like, "What the fuck is this?"
my dad is just
Hey,
sitting.
Connor, you seeing this shit? Fucking dirty ass condom.
My dad is
Your dad is right there.
He's right there, dude. He's not paying
God.
attention, and I'm just sitting there like, "Oh my god, what is going on? What is today?" And then we leave. I'm like, I completely have forgotten. It's lost to time what was going through my head, but I can't imagine. He puts down the condom, I hope. Then walks to the front of the school where
Just fucking wears it.
he walks to the front of the school where the group of guys have like split up. The only one remaining was the dude that slapped Aiden, or that Aiden slapped, sorry. And the dude is like, "You want to try that again?" And Aiden's like, "You've had enough punch for one day." And I'm like, "Bruh." And he just continues walking. And then he goes home, and that's how the day ends.
Top 10
my
anime
God.
rivalries. Aiden versus some black guy with a rock.
Oh my
Oh my
god.
god.
Aiden versus the Conga tribesmen.
Dude, that's basically what it's like. Dude, for some reason when I like every time I hear this story, I always imagine it going down as if it was like a local Hollywood film.
Yeah,
It-
pretty much.
The audience.
Kung Fu.
Okay, so
Super self.
to the audience,
Fuck you,
alright. Look, Hollywood is just Ethiopia's version of Hollywood. You know, just like how India has Bollywood.
Not Ethiopia. It's Uganda.
Whatever. It's the Knuckles country. And
Knuckles country.
essentially, they have this epic movie. Actually, like, I mean, it's not going to
Who
obviously
Captain
compare
Alex?
to ours in terms of quality.
No,
but,
it's
like,
better.
still
It's
really
actually
good.
better.
It's Who Killed Captain Alex, dude. It is. Oh my gosh, it is like
Did
gold.
y'all see that like Ninja Kid movie or whatever?
No.
That they're making that Uganda's
The
making
karate. Oh, I thought you said meant the karate.
Are they
Kid with
making
Jaden
it-
Smith?
Is Hollywood making a new movie?
now. Yeah, it's about like a kid that's like a ninja and knows like kung fu. And
Dude, they know all.
of it.
Everybody in Uganda know kung fu.
Oh yeah.
You got the fucking mercenary here looking like the demo man.
Dude,
Yeah.
Oh my
Mercenary
God.
was my favorite character, dude. He had the most development.
Mercenary was just
Dude,
Yeah, he had the most development, and he like if you look at every scene with him in it, he's just like walking around confused or shooting at nothing.
He's walking around confused, diving into the dirt for no reason. Yeah.
dude, there's moments in that movie where we thought they were like literally fighting, like they were actually beating the crap out of each other.
Now,
But,
the hand-to-hand combat choreography was really good.
dude, the hand-to-hand combat choreography in that movie is actually some of the best that I've seen. But everything else, like the stock footage budget, is probably $5.
It is. Yeah,
$5.
it's obviously a really low budget movie, but
The
it has that's the appeal to it though.
Yeah, we don't even need to say anymore. Like if you like I mean it's not even deep fried. If you like really high tier shit posts, the entire movie is one of the best ones that you'll see.
Deep fried with
honestly
Hollywood
really good.
film. Oh my god, but yeah, but yeah, basically Aiden belongs to a Hollywood film.
Would you shut the fuck up? What the fuck?
Okay, let's stop making references that they don't get yet. We'll make those in the
Yeah.
second episode.
Jesus kung fu.
Your homework, guys, is that you have to go home and watch fucking Who Got Killed After. Who killed? Okay.
Describe this movie.
Who killed Afton?
Captain Alex.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
All right. So
Note up.
whenever I ask you right now, what is the most scuffed story of us that comes to your head?
Us or just
Like
any
Firelock.
story? Honestly, just that one.
How about the one where you? How about every pep rally with you?
Oh my god.
Watching fucking Christopher do the whip and nanny with his elbows sticking out of his sleeves.
Oh my god, I remember that.
That's the most grade A quality content I've ever seen in my entire life.
That reminds me. So we had a Halloween party at one point at the
Oh,
middle
no.
school.
That was your
Okay.
first mistake.
Yeah, and like
Oh no, I know where this is
I
going.
dressed it. So at the time, and like I still am kind of today, but like I was like like my favorite Marvel character was Deadpool. All right, because like I just resonate with him the most. Like his humor and mine are kind of similar in some ways. So I tried to make a homemade Deadpool outfit with low budget, obviously. So I couldn't even like cosplay him correctly. So I look like a hobo.
I
was
wanna-
trying to cosplay.
I want to tell the audience what it actually looked like so they can get a better picture. So the Halloween party is just it's nighttime at the middle school that you have a great image of in your head from all the events that happened here. It's nighttime. We're just chilling out in the courtyard, a different courtyard than the one that we were talking about previously. It's like inside. There's like trees. A bunch of people are in there going in and out of the gyms because it's kind of like a central area of the school.
There is no roof, by the way. That's why there's trees.
Yeah. I mean, there's roofs around it, but like that specific area isn't roofed. It's in the center of the campus. So not that matters. So the the Deadpool outfit, quote, is like. You guys ever go to the Walmart, like,
Found it.
do you go to Walmart to like those to the fabric aisles, the ones where you can buy like sheets of fabric?
Yeah.
It looks like Nick took scissors and just cut out a bunch of random scraps of red and black and then like tied it together with scotch tape, basically. That is there's no words for how scuffed it was, but I'll let you
Dude, it
continue
was-
now.
Oh my god. So like, there's a lot of crazy things I did there, and the only reason why Christian's Whip and Nene event may remind me of it because like one of the first things I did when I got there is go to the dance floor, and immediately like that song started playing. So like, when you're dressed as Deadpool, you kind of like have to do shit like that because Deadpool just makes everything funny.
As a 12-year-old.
So, oh yeah, you gotta keep in mind we were middle schoolers, but. Anyway, so like I do that, everyone's like, "Yo, it's fucking Deadpool!"
Yeah,
All
right
this,
back.
and then after I had to go to the bathroom, right? And now, mind you, because this DIY cosplay is so shittily done, right? Like the hot glue was not holding the eye patches very well or anything like that. I'm like half blind, so I can't see like the labels for the bathrooms, and I'm about to like walk in, and then like I didn't even realize it, but then until like I heard a bunch of girls yelling like, "Oh, Deadpool!" I was expecting to like get like I don't know like castrated basically, but no, they were all just like so happy to see me in there, which is really awkward. And
Oh my god, Deadpool!
I was like, yo, all right, this is too much, man. I'm just gonna dip
You almost
Yeah.
had your own harem, dude. You almost had your
for
own
real.
harem.
Yeah, until I took my mask off.
Yeah,
I mean that's
that
kind of how it is
would've
with
been
Deadpool. Freaking
It would have been about the same reaction, to be honest.
yeah, because Deadpool looking like an avocado had hate sex with an
Deadpool
older,
looking like
uglier
Swiss
avocado.
cheese.
Freaking oh my god.
Dude,
So-
that dance was pretty frittata.
All of those, so there were a bunch of different dances that they hosted. Same formula every time. Basically, you paid like $5 to get in. And we were all like so looking forward to these because, none of us, I mean, we're all like severely crippled with social anxiety. And social events are not the move, except for Aiden, who is actually a psychopath and doesn't have.
Why do
emotions.
you say that?
Um,
What's that?
Well, he doesn't experience anxiety whatsoever. He's the only one of us, basically, is what I'm saying. So we would be so excited for these dances because we like to play an IRL adaptation of Assassin's Creed that we made. You can tell that a lot of things are influenced by Assassin's Creed from our middle school days, like doing parkour, things like that.
Pelvic kicking.
Kicking. I want to do some kicking.
So the way that it would work, there would be like a group of assassins and there would be a group of targets, and the targets would go and like hide and try to act normal and like blend in amongst the groups of people at the dance, and the assassins would try to come up to them sneakily and like pretend that they're assassinating them with a hidden blade. Speaking of hidden blade, we'll get to we'll get to that later,
Oh, no.
Aiden. So
Oh no.
yeah, I don't really have much to say about this one besides it was fun as fuck. Like there's just crowds and crowds of people like gathering everywhere, and you're like your middle school ass is like monka-essing and running through groups of different people trying to like talk to people that you don't know to blend in while like people are running around like acting shady as shit trying to stab you. And
That circle that appears to show you like the range that people have to be for them to notice you.
yeah, that was actually happening. And the dopamine rush that you would feel from like an assassin not seeing you, you were just like, oh my god, I may as well just nut right here. But there's not much to say about that entire thing. Like I don't have any distinct memories from playing it besides the fact that it was really fun.
Those
Mind you, the soundtrack to all of these is really shitty, like pop music from like 2012.
yeah.
I don't know who it is.
It's
Not-
funny because like my mind blocks it out. my mind blocks it out and just replaces it with like
To the
any
right, to
D&D
the
song.
right, to the left, to the left.
Yeah. I don't remember that playing. My brain just hears Amen break.
All I
But,
remember is sprinting through the jam at 300 kilometers per hour.
dude. So I think the one time we didn't play this, it was actually the most awkward time, and it was because at this time we were getting to like magic, like sleight of hand magic.
Oh my god, dude.
Oh my god.
And like I think I was kind of like the catalyst for getting everyone into it, and so like I was practicing all these like different card tricks and shit, like almost like David Blaine level.
I want to give context for this too. So, since we've been friends, one of the common thing that we've had, one of the things that we've had in common, is we've always been fascinated with like these really unique. I'm not saying we're like quirky and shit, but we've always been fascinated with these skill-based hobbies, like these various skill-based hobbies, like butterfly knife flipping, card magic, cardistry, which is like doing shit with the cards that looks cool, things like that, and parkour as well. So during this period was our like sleight of hand phase, and that will set the precedent for the rest of Nick's story.
So the one time that we like didn't play Assassin's Creed, we were going to the dance to start performing sleight of hand, right? Because like we all thought like, hey, we're ready to perform, we're ready to show people some cool shit. We even we practiced for so long that we even had already like bought our own like special like card decks.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, yeah, I'm so ready. So I go up, I'm about to perform a basic one, and like a really simple one just to start off. And I did it, but the whole time my anxiety was so high.
He was shaking.
I literally looked like a chihuahua, dude.
Nobody noticed, dude. Your confidence is what matters. Like, you absolutely stunned them. You got such a good reaction.
Really did.
Oh yeah.
And then you were like, alright dude, it's your turn. And I was like, holy shit, I don't know. And then I did it. I did a successful trick with like 12 people surrounding me. And everybody fucking flipped out. I literally messed it up. Like, you could see like two cards together where there was supposed to be one and shit. And nobody was paying attention. And so everybody's like, oh my god, how did you do that? And like screaming as middle schoolers do.
Oh man.
But yeah. So there's that.
Oh yeah, that feels so good. But, oh man.
About the hidden blades.
Oh,
Okay,
yes.
so this is the story of how Aiden and I met.
Partially. So it's weird because it starts out with me stealing. Basically, I did a Gatorade heist in the gym.
Please give all the details about this.
So I make my way into the 8th grade locker room, and I notice there's like a chain link fence in the building, and behind it is like gym equipment and stuff, and all I see in there is just cases
Blue
of
gold. Hold on. So the reason that there's a chain link fence there is because like it's those old mechanical bleachers, and the fence was like on the side of it to prevent people from going beneath it. And somehow the Gatorade was in there. I don't know how the fuck they managed, but the Gatorade
was it?
Yeah,
No,
that's how it was.
Wait, this was in the locker room though.
No, it wasn't.
That was. This isn't
The
the locker
Gatorade and stuff?
Was it?
That stuff was in
There
the
was
locker room.
It was in the 8th grade locker room, and towards the back of the room there was that like chain link fence, and behind it was all like the gym equipment and stuff.
Oh, dude, I've always thought of this memory in a completely different spot. But yeah.
No, yeah, it took place there, and then you have that door that goes into the 6th grade locker room, right?
Where if you go into the bathroom, you will see an open room that's like 20 by like 10 feet of just naked kids showering. it's so disturbing. Oh, hold on. I'm gonna continue delaying your no, actually, I won't. Fuck. I was gonna talk about the piss vats, but I'll talk about that later.
We should save that. We should save that for a different episode.
Are you talking about those like troughs that you get into in like public bathrooms?
So the bathroom in the 6th grade locker room, or yeah, basically you go in. It's like this hallway. On the right side, there's like urinals and stalls. On the left side, it opens up into that huge like shower room where, for some reason, even though we were in like the late 2010s or like the early mid 2010s, people were fucking still showering those after gym, butt ass naked. So, and around the entire school, including in this bathroom, instead of urinals, there are like these. What is the material? It's like brushed aluminum piss troughs. They look like livestock feeding troughs.
For, like, most of the audience might be familiar with this if you go to like bars and shit. Like that's how it's one of those.
Or oftentimes baseball stadiums.
Just anywhere.
But
Yeah.
it's to get. I don't know how to explain it, dude. Imagine what a pig feeding trough is like. That's what they are, except they're made out of brushed aluminum, and they don't flush properly. So there's just like weak old like brown orange ass piss and like particles and dirt and like cum.
Old beer.
There's just like little like blasts of cum floating to the top.
No, it's not.
I swear to God, I've seen nut in those before, dude.
Cumules floating on the top.
But yeah.
Little jisms floating around.
Okay, so anyway, back to the 8th grade locker room where where Aiden began his heist.
Yes, I am Aiden. So there's a chain link fence, and there's all the gym equipment behind it, and there's so much Gatorade. There's no, not 3. There's like 4 cases of Gatorade stacked on top of each other, and I'm just like, I am thirst. No. So I like jam my fingers through the chain link fence, and I'm trying so hard to tear open plastic, and I eventually do get it open. And with my immense finger strength, okay, with like the tip skin of my finger, I grab a whole bottle and pull it out of the small plastic hole that I made. Okay, and it falls onto the floor because you can't break it through the chain link fence. And then I realize the chain link fence on the bottom right corner isn't entirely attached to like the pole that's on the wall. Okay, and it's one of those chain link fences where it's kind of like lifting up. It has like some give, you know. So I bat the Gatorade all the way over to the right.
God.
I pull it out from underneath the fence, and then I'm just like, more. Insert Kylo Ren going, more. So then I get a metal pipe. I get a metal pipe, and I start poking holes in the Gatorade case. Okay, and then I just start pulling bottles out and pulling them out to the fence. Now, I got like 6 of them, okay? And then RJ walks in.
Dude, RJ was such... Oh, wait, I'm thinking of an RJ and Edna, never mind. Time is convoluted in Victoria.
I think what's his name? It's RJ, right?
That
Jake,
was someone...
remember?
Yeah, that is one of the students that went there, yeah.
He's kind of like chubby, really pale, dark circles around his
Yeah,
eyes.
that's RJ.
Okay, RJ walks in. Okay. Fucking... Oh, God.
That stands for Ron Jeremy, by the way. D. Ron Jeremy.
Yeah.
Okay, so he walks in, and it's just like, hey, what are you doing, man? I'm just like, dude, come here, it's fucking epic. Yo, do you want one? And it's like, yeah, sure, man. And then I fucking work my magic and shit, under the fence and hand it to him. And then we're like talking about it and shit. It's like, dude, we should take all of them.
You sound like such fucking drug addicts, the way that you're talking.
and the coach walks in, it's like,
Oh my god.
He's like the Lego City guy. Hey!
and
A Gatorade is falling into the backpack of a student.
I ditched the dude. Okay, I expected him to run as well, but I guess he didn't. He was the one confronted by the coach. Okay,
Damn.
I sprint through that door, through the bathroom, through where everybody's changing, out into the courtyard.
You actually did that? You literally dipped.
Yeah,
I did. You did not say that you bolted from the coach after this.
Oh no, dude! Dude, I had fucking steam engine wheel slip when I started running. It was like a cartoon, dude. Like I had to start out. My fucking feet were slipping when I started running.
The sound of the Flintstones running in the car.
Actually.
the conking sounds.
So I sprint through the bathroom, like in the 6th grade locker room, into the actual 6th grade locker room where everyone's saying things. Everyone's just watching me, like, run with no context as to why, and out into the main courtyard. They eventually catch me and shit, and they're like, "Oh, you're getting a write-up and shit. You know, you stole $30 worth of Gatorade." And it's like, how is 7 bottles of Gatorade worth $30? But that's the question.
Oh man.
So
Yeah, they put me in ISS because of that.
anyway, this is a linear timeline. This entire like world is connected. The world of this middle school that we went to is like, I don't know how to explain it, but you're getting an idea.
Story lands of Lothric,
Not it's
where all of our memories converge.
It is, but I forget how absolutely fucked our memories are until we talk about them. So continue. This again, like the condom thing and the rock thing happened on the same day, and what he just said and what's about to happen also happened on in the same week. So you see that this shit isn't like few and far between. This was like an everyday occurrence where we went to school, and it was mainly because of us, because we were like. You can probably tell from the way that we act, but we were kind of the social outcasts. Not like we weren't like
Exiled.
we weren't like the kids that like sniff paint in the corner, but we were like the ones that all are kind of different from everyone else in a way that they don't easily interact with the masses. And it led to these events and our friendship that has developed since to this day.
Me, right? So none of you guys would say, well, I would say that none of you guys were necessarily like a popular, quote unquote, popular middle school or hip with the cool kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you were like a mountain man, dude. Like you were a different species.
No, but I was like, I wasn't a popular kid, but I was acquainted with some of the cool kids, as you might say, which means that my name would sometimes spread quite easily.
Yo, that black kid stole a Gatorade again.
I was like, I was popular for like some of my actions, or like well known for like some of my actions, but nobody was ever my friend or wanted to talk to me.
Yeah, that's how Mason was too. Mason was like probably one of the most well-known people in the school, but like nobody wanted to be his friend except for us.
The audience doesn't know who that is, but
he's gonna be on the podcast.
yeah, y'all find out soon.
He's one of our community, one of our best
Yeah, he's
friends.
a vegetable.
I have a
So-
gym story though.
We gotta finish the hidden
Basically,
blade story.
Yeah, I know.
So basically, this leads into where hidden blades are invented.
Explain to them what ISS is like.
So you sit in a room and you do nothing.
It's like a prison, except you're in a classroom. Like literally, people are just like the desks are facing the wall. You have like these cells. They're cubicles though, and you just like look at the wall for 8 hours. And Aiden was not. He doesn't work well under those situations.
No. I am a man of creation. I must do things with my hands.
Like steal Gatorade.
As we're about to hear in a minute.
So, from stealing Gatorade, I was sent to ISS for a couple days. Okay. RJ was also there, obviously. He So I get an ISS, and the teacher's like, "What are you in for?" And I was like, "I stole some Gatorade from the gym," and she's like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, I stole some Gatorade from the gym," and she's like, "Yeah, write some shit on this piece of paper. Confirm that you're a school criminal."
Convict to confirm that you're an inmate. Fucking.
I was like, "Yeah, sure, bitch."
You have to write like dictionary entries and shit. I've been in there. You have to write like 6 pages of like
Dude.
sentences about
Now,
like why
they
you're
didn't
never
make-
gonna do shit like that again.
Now they didn't make me do that. I would just sit there and do nothing.
Yeah,
I would work on my homework if I had the chance to, or sometimes they would bring me work.
He was in there for a week, mind you.
Stay in there for a week.
Yeah,
I was
you
only
were.
in there for like 5
No,
days.
dude, it was yeah. Well, I mean, that is a week in school.
Yeah, it's a school week. Yeah.
Oh. Well, no. You say week, I'm like 7 days.
It was 5.
7 days.
It was 5.
He was just forced to stay there on Saturday and Sunday.
Dude, he slept there
No, but I
overnight.
mean, when I went back to school, I thought it would have made sense for me to stay for 2 more. But so I'm bored as fuck. Okay, and I'm like, oh yes, I have a pack of tiny rubber bands in my backpack. Okay. These are small rubber bands, like you can't do anything with them, like that you would do with like bigger rubber bands and stuff, right? So I'm like, ah yes, how can I work with this? And it's like, oh yes, I remembered a method for tying rubber bands together. Okay. So I start doing that, and it's like, I can make a hidden blade. So what I start doing is I pull out a notebook, like one of those like basic notebooks, one that has like black and white camouflage on it for no
For
reason.
hold on,
composition.
for those of you like look up if you haven't played Assassin's Creed, we're probably not going to reference it too much more in the future because it's something in the past for us. But like, just Google Hidden Blade, you'll get the idea.
It's basically a knife that flicks out of your wrist.
Well, not actually out of your wrist, out of like a contraption on your wrist.
No, not out of your wrist, but it's a thing mounted on your wrist.
Inverted
Yeah.
Wolverine.
Yeah. So I use the cardboard of the notebook. Okay. I take a sheet of cardboard. I roll it up to make the casing for which the blade is going to be set in. Okay. I forget, what did I do then? I think I poked a hole in the casing for the rubber band to go, right, to connect to the back of the blade so it would be pushed up. And at first it wasn't like actually mechanized, it was just you hold it down with your fingers and you let go
I'll
and
be
it
right
would pop out. And so I made it, I used some rubber bands to like strap it to my arm, and you would hold it down with your fingers and you'd release it when you wanted it to like flick out, okay? And then I brought it out into the courtyard after school, and Connor was like, "Oh my god, dude, you should like make an actual hidden blade and shit." And so then started a week of
More than a week. This went on for like 2 years. you kept
I wasn't even there for 2 years.
you kept crafting hidden blades into like 7th grade.
I didn't go to 7th grade.
I know, the final prototype you showed me, you came to my house with it. It had like electrical tape on it for aesthetic purposes.
Oh yeah, and then it had like the logo on it.
Yeah.
So basically, I went home. Right, I got some quality cardboard this time. Not that shitty composition notebook shit. I got quality cardboard right from a fucking pizza box, and so
Still greasy and shit
cut out a square, got a ruler, and it was one of those rulers where it's made of like a really soft, like flexible plastic. Okay. So I was able to make it pointy just by like snipping off the corners.
Yo, I'm remembering now. I forgot that your first hidden blade, like the blade was made out of cardboard.
Yeah, the blade was also made out of cardboard.
Okay, keep going.
So in art class, right, part of our like art kit, which was stupid.
Oh, I was there for this.
Yeah. So they had the rulers,
Oh
Made
my
out of, like,
fuck.
it was made out of a really soft, flexible plastic. Okay, and so at home I took it and I snipped the corners off with scissors to make it pointy.
To be in that
Like,
class, by the way, you had to pay like $100 per student to get your fucking art kit, and that ruler was part of it. So Aiden just yeeted somebody's ruler and like turned it into a blade.
I'm pretty sure I found it on the ground.
Someone just
I
left
think
it on
I
the
found it
floor.
somewhere. I don't think it was mine because I used mine for a future hidden blade.
Yeah.
So I took that, okay, made it into a blade shape, put it in the cardboard casing that I then taped together. All right. I made notches at the back of the ruler for the rubber bands to stick onto to pull it up when you release the mechanism. And then those rubber bands were attached to the top of the casing, so that it'll pull on it. And then for the blade, I cut a notch in the blade. Okay. I took off my lanyard. Okay, and the little metal piece that holds my ID to my lanyard. I took that out, bent it out with some needle nose pliers to make a hook shape. Okay. Taped the hook. Well, tape is the understatement. I put a lot of tape around it and rubber bands and like a paper clip just to be sure. But I attached that to the casing, and the hook would sit in the notch that was on the blade. Then I would take some string, tie it around the hook, and a key ring, and attach that to the other end of the string. And so then I attach it to my arm. You put your middle finger through the ring, and then when you pull up on it, the blade flicks out.
The engineering exhibited by this was so intense. I was like, oh my god, this is the coolest thing that I've ever seen. And during the course of the year, he continued making innovations to it and like working on it, and it was his pride and joy. Tell him. Wait, keep going.
I'll get to that in a second.
Okay, we both know.
So I made the hidden blade. Okay, Connor was like, yo, that's cool, dude. The first, like, mechanized, I'm going to call it the mechanized hidden blade. The first one that I made, it looked like it had a fucking, like, Mad Max skin on it because it was so cobbled together. It sounded like shit and stuff. And it's, like, held together with, like, gum and, like, thumbtacks. No, I'm kidding. I made a second one. I think this was the one that was covered in electrical tape, was it?
Probably.
I used some electrical tape, but it wasn't like the super aesthetic one. Now this one had an extra function. Okay. This one had an extra function, okay. There was a third notch that you could move the rubber band to that I made, and what that means
Tell them about what I experienced. No, actually I will, and then you can explain what it is and how it works. I think that'll be the most comedic.
Okay.
So Aiden and I met in our math class in middle school in 6th grade. He sat like a desk in front of me, and we were in like roughly the middle of the class. There was like this row of like 4 desks, and then I don't know why, there was a row of 4 desks in the middle of the room, and then every other desk was like grouped into columns or into like groups of 4 around that middle row. So he and I would like meet up there every day and talk about random shit that we were interested in 6th grade. One day he walks in with the most excited look on his face, and I'm already sat down, and he just looks. I don't even remember his expression, but it was fucking gammy for sure. And then he holds up his wrist, and you just hear ting, and then the ruler fucking flies like 6 feet across the room and slaps flat down on the ground and makes like the loudest slapping sound ever. And I'm like, holy shit. And he comes, he retrieves his blade and then comes and sits down, and I'm like, dude. All right.
Okay, so essentially, I gave it a Phantom Blade function. Now, if you don't know what the Phantom Blade is, at Assassin's Creed, it's a little wrist-mounted crossbow, and you shoot little like crossbow bolts out of your sleeve. And I put an extra notch on the ruler so that when you release the hook and it unhooks and it allows the blade to slide forwards, the rubber bands were no longer holding on to the blade to keep it from flying out. So you see it, the hidden blade is perfectly hidden in my sleeve because I wear a hoodie all the time. All you see is a ring on one of my fingers. And so you just be like flick my wrist and a fucking hidden blade or a fucking ruler shoots out of my sleeve.
A bladed
Darn.
ruler. It looks like a freaking
Bladed
like
ruler.
translucent dart. But no, like I don't even know how to describe. It made a satisfying mechanical sound too. Like the sound of the hook like coming out, it totally sounded like a mechanism. I don't even know how to describe it. It was like
it was.
it was
I
plasticky
imagine-
and like papery, but it sounded really satisfying.
Oh, yeah,
It was
and then
really
that like
satisfying to
bit
use.
sound of the hook scraping against the
Yeah.
blade
Yeah.
after that.
I say, I
I'd
imagine
shoot it and it would be like
weaponized.
I'd shoot it and you hear like as it comes out.
Oh man.
It may. I don't. If you take like
like a
hollow, if you take like hollow cardboard and thump it, that's kind of what it sounds like with added like scratching of plastic.
But yeah, that was basically my my proudest feat that year in 6th grade was making the hidden blade. And I kind of always been like the engineer of like the class, you know. I remember 4th grade in Michigan. I think I told you about this, Connor. But in Michigan, right, everyone would like just about everybody would use mechanical pencils. Right? And because of that, I would always find like mechanical pencil parts lying around and stuff like that, and like doing things like that. And we had those desks that like open up, and you have all your stuff inside. And so I would collect those mechanical pencil parts. I'd collect the springs, the little plastic pieces, the casings, the tips, and all that stuff. And I would save them. And I remember, you know, I had a friend who was like, "Oh, my mechanical pencil's broken," and I was like, "Let me take a look." I look at his mechanical pencil and it's like, "Ah, yes, I see here. Your the spring's all like screwed up and stuff, and the lead dispensing mechanism's all screwed up. Let me just fix that for you." So I just take the parts out, switch them out with parts I had on my desk, and put it back together, and it works fine. And it's like, "Gee, thanks, Aiden." No, but like with those pencil parts, I would like not only would I fix my friends' pencils with them, I would like make launchers and stuff out of them, and like just random bullshit. Just to keep myself entertained in class.
Aiden's just weaponizing school supplies.
Weaponizing pencils. Weaponizing pencils since 2011.
Can we find more school supplies to weaponize for like Aiden's
Dude.
pleasure?
Dude, yeah, after we graduate, I will just hand him all my notebooks and like all my supplies, and be like, "Have fun, dude."
He probably wouldn't do much with it. Like limitation breeds creativity. It was probably just the fact that he was in school and like he sees an opportunity
Dude,
for
that's
engineering. Like
yeah.
he wouldn't. Dude. Whenever like I was so inspired, like Aiden just did the hidden blade thing to keep himself from being bored in ISS. After this, I was so inspired that I went with my mom to Walmart and bought like $60 of bulk school supplies to make my own. Literally, it cost $60 to do that because I was getting like I got a huge fat ass pack of paper clips. I got like an entire composition notebook. I got like everything that I needed in bulk, like an entire spool of like thread.
Oh my god.
But
I mean,
Yeah,
I just
it was,
used stuff I found around the house, and it worked well for me.
Well, that's right.
Yeah.
You made one too, didn't you, Christopher?
yeah, they both
I
did.
did
And
too.
the
We
cool thing
both
was
did.
is that their rulers were in their respective colors, red and blue.
I was literally the only one with that one.
Rip.
Yeah,
I remember I also got caught with mine. That
Damn,
wasn't fun.
feels not good.
I'm worried
Yo!
about being caught in a minute.
Mine lasted until Nazareth Academy.
Yeah, he moved schools after 6th grade, but he still lived in the same spot, so he could come visit us.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think that
Um,
just about. Or you got more to say?
I was gonna say I am the most resourceful person in the world.
A little narcissistic much?
I am the most resourceful person in the world.
Nick, what did you have to say after this? After this story, let's wrap it up.
Oh, Christian just mentioned about how he got caught with his hidden blade. All right, and this isn't about me directly, right? But there's a good friend of ours who may also appear on the podcast soon, named Dylan. He was part of our friend group, specifically around the time we all started getting to butterfly knife flipping. Right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And
Oh my God, I know what you're gonna talk about already.
yeah. So we would buy trainers a lot, right? Because live blades are a little scary to us, and also very expensive.
And not fun to bring to school because.
Yeah, that's true. So Dylan one time brought literally every single trainer to school that he had. All right, he had
metal
the
trainers.
CS:GO, he had
Yeah.
the CS:GO cuts, blue one. He had he even had one that was a pen, which I also had one as well. It's called Balio.
Same. I had
Link in
one
the
too.
description. No, I'm kidding.
No.
But so anyways, he was using that, and then the teacher told him to stop using that. So he had to use a regular pencil, And eventually, he was kept showing him off. He was like, "Yeah, look at this cool trick I learned. I can do the Zen rollover, which is a thumb around basically." And then eventually, he one of the staff, I think, one of security, comes to gets him. All right, not in this classroom, but it was more around lunch, I think. And it turns out someone snitched on him that he had all these trainers that he was not going to hurt anyone with, by the way, because it's a little hard to do that.
They're literally dull metal slabs attached to handles for flipping. Probably $2 on Amazon. If you look up butterfly knife comb trainer, do everything with it but take it to your hair because it'll rip out it in tufts.
Oh yeah, I've experienced that.
Yeah.
It's more of a lice comb than anything, but but no, and to this day we still don't know who fucking snitched on Dylan. Me and Dylan talking about one day, we're just we just want to know who did it just to find out.
True.
Alright, well, next episode I want to talk about the dart game, because that's a whole chapter that we haven't uncovered yet.
Oh my
yeah.
god.
Fuck. But thank you everyone for joining us. Thank you for sitting through the obscure references that we're making to shit you probably don't know about, and also us referring to each other by our names without having introduced. I hope that it's kind of somewhat easy to follow, but until next time.
Oh my god!